Hello, everybody. Welcome to Royal Pushback and Aftermath. Here's my new digs. And you know what I'm going to do? Every person who subscribes, I'm writing your name on the wall. So it is about 4 o'clock in the morning on January the 8th of 2024. It's Monday, and rainy days and Mondays always get me down. But it's not raining today. But I'm wearing my Canada pajamas. We're going right into the reading of the exorcism of Analese Micheal. And last time we were together, I shared with you my ghost story. And I got some feedback. I read some feedback from some people who have been following this reading and explained to me they liked the cadence of my voice, but just to get into the reading. So I, with very strong conviction last time, and I don't think I need the mic because the thing about the basement is it echoes. So I very, very self-righteously, with strong conviction, shared that we were on page 30. So I'm just going to go ahead and read. Okay. All right. It seemed like her hands turned into thick paws and claws. I tell you, it was awful. I was so scared. I rushed to the office and tried to calm myself by writing out some bills, only I couldn't. My hands shook, so I couldn't hold the pen, and I could not see the letters on the typewriter. Now Joseph was silent, and he's the father. Well, I have to ask for guidance in prayer, he said finally. So we have to ask for guidance in prayer as to why her hands are growing into claws. Now, one of the things that did happen, and I'm jumping ahead, but it did show it in the movie, and I am on track about Joseph and the hands, is the lawyers didn't want the family to testify, but they did. But because they came from a smaller town, and at the beginning they were talking about, and now I really understand, it was very tribal because people were Protestant or Catholic. So people were very, they had strong conviction in their chosen religion. They were very tribal. And the Micheal family weren't high society. Remember at the beginning of the book, the ancestors were farmers. Joseph was in World War II in Bulgaria. I told you it was too close, too many years, 5 years after the war she was born. I don't know how she knew about that 1867 or 1887 priest, but anyways, Joseph believed now they needed to pray. Now that's the father. So the point is, when they were on the stand, they don't sound like educated people saying, well, her hands turned into claws, or in the German accent. I don't know how to do that. I have to work on German accent. I'm not being facetious. And when people say they're not doing something, they actually are, but I'm really not. I just have this habit of over-justifying myself. So anyways, prayer had always been a rallying point for the family, but the evening rosaries and the masses and services of penance did very little for Analese. Instead, she now suffered a new kind of hellish torment, one that grew worse as the examinations drew nearer. She talked about it. In that conversation that Father Renz recorded with her on February 1st of 1976. It was especially gruesome at the time of the abitur. Oh, Herr Pater, you cannot imagine that most awful dread. It is a terror that goes through all of my limbs and settles there, in a dread that makes you think that you are right there in the middle of hell. You are totally, utterly deserted. You can call all you want for help to the Mother of God, but they are all deaf. I think that's how it must have been for the Savior on the Mount of Olives, where they say he was beset by the shudders of death. Although I think for him it must have been even worse, for after all, he had taken all the sins of the people on himself, the sins of all the world. Now, I don't want to get into a religious debate yet. Later that spring, Analese caught the German measles. The German measles, okay? Because this childhood disease came to her late, her parents consulted the family's physicians. And I could just hear her like screaming, like, just leave me alone. Like, seriously, leave me alone. Analese pleaded, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. But one of the Kellers, who had taken over the practice of Dr. Voigt just a few weeks previously on April 1st, was asked to make a house call anyway. Despite the loss of several weeks of school because of this illness, the German measles, Analese did pass the difficult abitur examinations and graduated. Now, she would have been super excited about that. I'm just giving that point of view based on reading the book, based on her face, based on the sweetness of her face. She looked like a sweet girl that had, the world in front of her. And if this hadn't have happened to her, she'd still be with us. It is also graduation year for the older Micheal girls. Gertrude completed her courses, and Barbara's classes finished at the Cross. It's a commercial school. And the youngest, I forgot about this. Yeah. The youngest, I can't pronounce her name. I'm just going to call her Roz, but it's Roswitha. Left high school in Ollenburg. Okay. For Analese, it was not, I feel like I am in a deep hole. She kept complaining to Dr. Leonard. She later confessed that she had reoccurring ideas of suicide, but had been too much of a coward to go through with it. Yeah, based on all of this, even though I do have my opinion and it's very obtuse and it's for reasons beyond comprehension, because either way you look at it, even the fact that somebody wrote a book about this, and she is considered a saint in certain parts of Germany and Europe. Yeah, at any rate. So do you remember when she had that other doctor, Dr. Voigt? And the last time I read, now putting it together, Dr. Voigt was upper class. He was Protestant. They were Catholic. And there was a real imbalance in the dynamic between the physician and Analese. And so then She went to a different doctor, and this is Dr. L, because Dr. Voigt, different dialect, different, yeah, if that makes any sense, and I'm sure it does. The summer brought no relief either. Those pills of Dr. Lothy's don't help me, she insisted. All they do is make me tired and apathetic. Finally, her father came up with a suggestion. Why don't I take you down to San Dominio? It'll be a change, a pleasant bus ride through northern Italy, the pretty Po Valley, and all of that. Anne Frohan, who is organizing the trips, is a nice woman and you'll really like her. I remember this trip. Okay, we've been on for 10 minutes, 44 seconds. Now, I'm stopping here because it's 4:30 in the morning. I have to get ready and do my due diligence of work through the day. But, however, I have made up a new schedule. Not on that today, because I have another book that I'm starting. And I'm very, very, I was so excited to read it, and then I didn't read it because Matthew Perry passed away. And I just thought to myself, give it some time. Give it some time. So on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I'm going to be reading Analese Micheal, The Exorcism of Analese Micheal, along with Matthew Perry's memoir. It should arrive today. I refuse to order anything on Amazon. I will not make Jeff Bezos richer. Unfortunately, we couldn't find this book anywhere because bookstores are shut down with just you don't have to leave your home to do anything nowadays. It's weird. But at any rate, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to be reading Analese. I'm going to pre-record it and put it up. The Matthew Perry book, I have a lot to say about this book. A lot to say about this book. So I'm going to try to just read the chapter without interjecting, and then at the end, comment on this absolute hell he went through. And he died, and he went through hell. Like Analese, only different times, different hell, different type of suffering, different eras, same thing. Not a demonic possession in somebody. But I will be talking a lot in this book about Matthew Perry, of course. And this is the straw on the camel's back for me. And for Jen and the other lady that commented on the readings, thank you so much. And I will just be diving into the book. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I love to sing and dance, but I want people to join in. So I don't know. I maybe on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'll do Matthew Perry, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll do Analese Micheal. And then on Saturday, I can read your tarot cards. And then on Sunday, can be singing Shania's Day or karaoke day or dancing. Because, I figured I love to read, I love to dance, I love to sing, I love to play the guitar. Yeah, and I'm not great at all of it, but it's fun, and I so enjoy you coming on. Here's me sign. Here's me sign. I'm so proud of my sign. Open for business. Open for business. If you want your tarot cards read, let me know. At any rate, as I always say, take care of yourselves. I'll do the same. That was a decent little bit to chew on for Analese because it does get darker. Yes. Let me know what you think. Do you want me to read this twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Matthew Perry on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Matthew Perry on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Analese Tuesdays and Thursdays? Because I promise you, I'm just going to dive in and read the way I did today. Take care of yourselves. I'll do the same. And Oleg, thank you for joining. Thank you.